So,
All good? Okay, good. No, you're fine. So I wanted to reach out. I
you're
just
very
wanted.
faint. Hold on, let me turn up my volume a bit for help. Try
Can
again.
you can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that okay? All right. So I wanted to just reach out to just check in to just learn a little bit more about Haley and sort of what has been going on. And I know that you had recently a meeting for her. It was an annual review. Um, and just to sort of just like hear a little bit about her and what's sort of been the situation, just to learn a little bit more myself, just because I do work in all of the elementary buildings and provide support for the AIS reading department, and hopefully just be able to help you if I can.
Sure.
So
What is your position?
I'm the elementary, so K-6, like literacy coordinator. So like,
Okay.
yeah.
So I think my biggest issue is that our district doesn't have a dyslexia program.
So it does have Wilson.
Well, I've never had a Wilson teacher, and my child's never been in a Wilson program.
Your child has not had Wilson, but it doesn't mean that we don't offer Wilson. So there is an option for Wilson here as a specialized reading service. It's determined by sort of an amalgam of tests that they give, and then teachers make a recommendation. So that's sort of
What
how
is that
it.
amalgam of tests? I was
Um,
specifically requested at testing that she be evaluated for dyslexia.
well, a dyslexia evaluation would be through a neuropsych. But Wilson, usually kids get recommended for Wilson through the Wade and an IQ test and a bunch of other recommendations that teachers make based on their decoding data, et cetera. So, and I did have some of her data that I looked at as well. So that's usually how that gets determined. And then there's a Wilson trained teacher in the building that provides that service for the child.
So why was she not recommended for it?
Potentially she was functioning too high. Did you ever speak to anyone
Can't
in
read.
the say that again?
She cannot read.
Well,
She has 115 IQ and she cannot read, and she's 8 years old.
okay. So, I mean, I am looking at some of her data. And so, according to the benchmark, right, she got up to long vowel patterns. And the benchmark for the end of second grade
You
is
know what?
multisyllabic word.
I get very irate, and I do need to calm myself down because I
I
keep getting
understand.
told what she's achieved. And I saw, wow, she's got her sight words all up to page 6, right? So
Okay.
I took that data,
Hmm.
I've got the words, and I asked her to read a couple of sight words on page 1. She can't
Hmm.
read them.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so when they're familiar and when she's working with them, she's a bright girl. She memorizes it, but if she's not seeing it every single day, she cannot read it. Okay,
mhm,
she's this district has squandered her education. She had a one-to-one teaching assistant in kindergarten, and nobody
mhm,
noticed she cannot read. And then they faked her reading score and told me she was reading at an E level when she wasn't even reading at an E level by the end of first grade. So I don't
yeah.
want I no matter what it takes, I am not waiting another year of squandering her education. She's a
Hmm.
bright girl. They have her in a class with exceptionally low functioning kids. It's almost like a self contained class. I understand the ICT classes, I get it, but there's different levels. And
Hmm.
her class, I'm telling you, she's a bright, bright student. And she is being prevented. We can't even see that she's a bright student because she can't read. And that's unfair. We're holding her back. We're keeping her at an unnaturally low level because of one deficit.
Okay.
And
Well, let me say, okay, so I understand, first of all, you feel frustrated. Like I am a mom. I get this. This is your child. This is like your whole world. So know that I understand that piece of it, and that, you're advocating for all the things so that she can be successful. I am too. I'm on your side. So I want you to know that one of the things that happened this year is that they no longer use, and you probably saw this memo come through, they no longer use F&P levels like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't know if you saw that memo. That
I
is.
mean, it's a nonsense memo because they need to then tell me, they need to then provide a table and equate the old levels to the current ones.
So
No,
unfortunately,
there's no unfortunate because we need
well,
to
let me
be able
let,
to
let me
track,
let me
track
like explain,
progress.
because I want you to, because I'm saying this to you because, like, part of the reason why I was hired this year was to help that transition away from the qualitative system of leveling. So they no longer are using that anymore, and unfortunately, that system doesn't line up to this one. So this is
Yeah.
the new one
And so
because there's.
whose great idea was it to use this crappy Savas thing that is not peer reviewed, that has no decent reviews except for their own reported results? My other daughter, who does not have a reading problem, was in a test classroom of
Mhm,
Sabbaths. Me and a couple other moms actually had to hire tutors because they didn't even move a letter grade in that year. We
mhm.
were disgusted with the thing and we kept talking about how bad it was. And we were shocked when all of a sudden we heard, oh, Savas is successful. I hear about teachers in sixth grade saying, oh, this um, the syllabus is impossible. Like most of the kids are failing it. So whose great idea is it to use this very inexpensive, easy to integrate system that actually has no great results and that specifically is bad for children who have dyslexia? There's about 10% plus ESL students.
So,
Whose
I
great
mean,
idea was that?
one of the things about Savas or any of these Ed Report included curriculums is that it is going to be undergirded in science of reading. And one of the things that we know about the way kids learn to read, and including kids who have signs of dyslexia or are dyslexic, is that when you use sort of this phonics first approach, is that it does allow for more efficient success in reading. And sort of that's kind of how it got determined. And in New York State, actually, there's a law that's coming out on September 1 that's going to have districts audit their curriculum, and Savas is actually one of the approved ones. So I understand no curriculum is perfect, but I do think that it does have those competencies that they're looking for, which is like phonics, fluency, all those things. So I'm so sorry that you're feeling like this. I want to
It's not
see,
a
is there a.
feeling. I'm basing it on facts. I am furious. That is true. I'm
Yes, I
furious
can see.
because the facts and the
So what,
data
well, I totally
are
understand. Tell me how I can
simply
help you.
upset.
What can I do to help
I want my child in a dyslexia approved program, and I will not settle until I have that done. I do not want her held back because she can't read. I
you?
need.
So, okay,
Okay,
let
you
me.
ask me what I want and you're interrupting and not letting me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So I want her in a program. I want her to be able to learn. I need her to have accommodations that in today's day and age with voice to text and text to audio, she can learn other things and not be held back in other subjects like social studies and things like that because she's a very bright girl.
Hmm.
And math, for example, which I actually think she has some type of dyscalculia because she switches numbers and it's a problem. I guess I'm going to have to get her a neuropsych, obviously, because your testing is not handling that. However, this she
So
made very small gains in this last program, but
can I, what, like for you, I know you are feeling like potentially, right, that she should have a diagnosis of dyslexia. What are the, like, can I just ask from your perspective what you feel is mostly making you feel like that?
it's not a feeling.
Or what is making you believe that she does?
Um, she has so she has full comprehension. If you read her a story, she understands it. She can tell you exactly what happened. She can tell you all the feelings. she can read behind the lines. She has the full understanding of all of that. She is able to do that. She as even young was never able to keep track of words. It looks like the text, the letters jump around for her. So for example, she had a spelling test, and one of the first words was saw. She was
Mm-hmm.
so proud of herself.
Yeah.
Okay. And she got full marks for that. And I said, great. And I said, what is this word? And she's like, swear, hours, like she was unable to read the word saw. And
So you feel like it's not sticking, like it's not like the retention is not, she's not holding on to things.
she, it appears to me
Yeah.
that she views letters almost as like hieroglyphic images, right? Like they are images
Yeah.
and not sensical letters. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
And that's and they it when she can decode bits and
Mm-hmm.
pieces, right? But when
Yeah.
she gets to the end of the word, she mixes up.
She's not blending the sounds back together. Is that what you're saying? Like if she's,
She'll blend them in different orders.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. So it's like sort of like a phonological processing thing
So
happening.
so yes, so she can actually like in small bits. Also, she cannot like if font is below, say, you know, let's say 12 or 14 point, she cannot read it. Also, if it's not in a pretty distinct blocked script, forget it. It's because again, those letters no longer make sense to her because she almost views them as images.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're in a stylized font, which a lot of the teachers use in second grade because it's cutesy, like the Comic Sans and all that stuff, she can't read it. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible for her to see.
Okay.
So
Would you, I mean, listen, I don't have like, I don't wield power here, but I just want to get a sense from you. Would you accept if they like tested her and then they did offer it Wilson? Is that something that would be acceptable? Just trying to gauge
gauge what? What are you
if
trying to?
that would be something that would be amenable to you as if she was receiving Wilson.
I'm going to look up because I want the Orton Gillingham. That's the main program, and I'm going to research the efficacy of Wilson versus Orton Gillingham, and I
I
can
mean,
answer that.
I
I
mean,
guess
I,
within
I
a
have
word.
I'm certified in Orton, and I will tell you they're both very similar. They're both multisensory. They have a kinesthetic piece to it, and that in Wilson it starts actually at grade 2 with children who have language based learning disabilities such as dyslexia. So it's all going to follow basically the same continuum, because if you look at any phonics curriculum, it basically moves from simple to complex. It's all going to be basically the same.
She
It's like
starts at
sort of
grade two, but her reading level is kindergarten still.
her reading level is
No, it's not.
actually, it's not kindergarten. It's, I mean, and I'm telling you because we just redid this whole system. So she's at long vowels, so she's like a few months behind essentially, because that's for
You know
first
what?
grade.
I'm
Yeah.
so tired of
Yeah.
seeing these things and being told she's at a level where she's not. Because don't you get something that she's never seen before, that doesn't have images that hint at what she cannot read it. This
Well,
child
listen,
cannot read.
I'm
And
telling
you know
you,
what
I
they
am just
do?
looking at
You
what
know
is
what
in
the
front of
school
me,
does?
though.
Do you know what the school does? If she needs to write something, they
Yeah.
write it for her, and so she just copies it. She can't come up with
Oh,
the word on herself.
that's something, I don't know about that. I'm just telling you
I
there's going
know
to,
about that because by mistake they included it. Okay?
okay,
And
okay.
and they made her redo her iReady.
Do
She
I say internet went down or something?
okay. But Dr.
That's what
McCallion
I
told
was
me,
told too.
Dr.
Hmm.
McCallion told me that when she redid it, she went up 20 points. So if you look up her
I have it in front of me.
Okay, let me just pull this up, this
But
testing.
I mean, can I just also say, I'm going what is in front of me, these papers. I didn't do these assessments. I'm reading what is in front of me. I'm hearing what you're saying. And I'm also looking at this and I'm trying to like triangulate all those things myself.
Right. So I'm looking at her I-ready assessment, right?
Yeah,
And it says she went up 48 points.
it does.
But if we go with actually the first one, which was 24 points below, according to Dr. McCallion, she was only up in 465. Sorry. So she's at 441, right? And to actually be on grade level, you need to be at 490. She's well below grade level. She's not on a par. She's nowhere near. And this, um, let's call it subjective testing that makes it look like she's at a higher level is not going to fly for me because I know what my child can do. And I'm not accepting it because I went with that subjective testing in kindergarten when they said she was an E and she went into first grade being on
Mm,
a C. Okay. So I'm not taking that nonsense. I'm going to go by the iReady because the school provides the iReady testing. And if people are going to tell me the iReady is not, um, a good method of testing and doesn't give you the picture, then the school district needs to provide an alternate method of testing.
yeah.
Okay, so according to your testing, right, she is at 441. If we go by not the, by the actual one that she did, not the one that she was familiar with and read it. Okay, 441 is well below grade 2.
Mm. Yeah, it's not on grade level. I don't think anyone's like saying that
Well, you
she's
told me she's just a few months behind. That's not a few
well,
months behind.
according to the decoding assessment that we gave, which is not subjective, it is actually a quantitative measure, as is iReady. This is the one that we are now using to sort of qualify where you are. And the benchmarks are based on the phonic decoding progression that we're using. So it's no longer at those Fountas and Pinnell levels that you had gotten before. And I totally agree with you that the C, the D, the E, that's not, to me, that stuff doesn't mean anything anymore. But this is really what I've been using myself. And I would say this to you, I'm not even telling you this as just a reading specialist. I'm telling you this as like a parent. Like I would use this because it's not like you're saying, it's not like it's not someone's feelings or opinion. It is what it is. You either can read the word or you cannot. And that's how Michelle Berry got this data. I'm only reading what is in front of me. I'm not making, it's just low inference note. I am just reading what's in front of me. So she got up to long vowel patterns, which according to whatever that phonics progression scope and sequence is like a first grade ish level. So, yes, is she behind? 100%. I am on your side in that. Does she need reading support? Yes, she does. But it's just about finding what the right one is. So, if I go back, because that is my goal, is to sort of like be able to help you as an outside perspective to the situation, because I'm just walking into this. If I go back and I say to them, is it possible for her to get tested to potentially receive Wilson when she goes to Birchwood, right? That's where she's headed next
What
year.
what is that testing?
It's the Wade.
Wade?
Yes.
What is the Wade?
So it is a diagnostic test. It's what they use. It stands for Wilson Assessment of Decoding and Encoding. It goes along with the Wilson system. So this is the Wilson. So if you look up Wilson-based language systems, this is their assessment. This is basically how they determine who's a candidate or profile a student for who should receive Wilson. Orton is more of, it can be used in tier 3, but it's mostly like whole class instructional. That's like really how it's set up. But Wilson is meant for intensive one-on-one. So if I ask, is that something that would be agreeable to you? I don't know if they're going to say yes because I don't work in the special ed department and I don't know, but I'm going to try to see if I can, sort of advocate for that if that's possible.
Okay. Is Wilson specifically designed for dyslexia?
Yes, it's for children who have
So
language-based
my
reading
question to
difficulties.
the district would be, when I specifically asked for dyslexia testing originally, why this was not done.
I mean, I just started here this year, so I don't know the history of that, but I can ask why they didn't. Maybe they felt like she was proficient enough based off that other old system that they were using with levels. I'm not sure how they came to that conclusion. I'm only coming in now. So we can only move ahead together now. And like I said, I am on your side. I am trying to make, this work for the best interest of your daughter.
Is
Um,
there a test for Orton Gillingham?
No, because like Orton is, like I said, it's more of like whole class. So everyone would be getting it. Wilson is more for like children who are showing prolific deficits. Wilson is not meant for like the whole class. Wilson is meant for children who are showing these sort of signs of, or children who are diagnosed with dyslexia. Um, it has the same components of that multisensory that you're looking for. It moves very methodically. See, this is the thing that I think like is the caution with Wilson, is that if you go with something like Wilson versus AIS, like a related service, is that Wilson's going to bring her all the way back to the beginning. It goes very lockstep. It's very intensive. It moves really slowly because what it's trying to do is like ensure mastery of each phonics concept. Because the thing about phonics in English, it's very difficult because it moves lockstep. So in phonics, if you don't master one concept, it's hard to keep going because in English, it sort of relies on the fact that you had of those more simplistic ideas. So that's the thing about Wilson that's hard. See, and again, I'm just going off of what's in front of me, but she made it pretty far. Like vowel teams is almost to the end of the phonics progression. Like there's only two more things she would have to master. Now, whether or not she's doing this with automaticity or
She's not.
like
She's
right.
not.
So
Because if you
that's the
go
thing
back to
that
page one again, go back to page
yeah,
one of
I
those
get what you're
five
saying.
words
She's
that
not
show that she achieved them, she can't really
I
have.
got what you're saying. The retrieval rate of where she's get like reading the words is not automatic. I get what you're saying. Trust me, I do.
And
Okay.
I can promise you that if you show her the same word next to each other in two
Mhm.
different fonts, she will have to read it again and may or may not recognize it depending on the font.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I listen, I totally understand what you're saying. Again, I'm only going off of what's in front of me and I'm trying to help you out to try to figure out what the best path is for her. So let's let's see this. I'll go back. I'll talk with the special ed department and see if that's a possibility. If it is right, and Dr. Bull gets in touch with you, and then they're able to test her. Let's say hypothetically she qualifies. Is that something that would be agreeable to you for her to have that sort of specialized program?
I didn't have a chance. It's just been very crazy. I know I did a bunch of research, hold on, into the difference between Orton and, hold on.
They're both multisensory programs. They both contain um,
So the difference, actually looking at it, the difference between Orton and Wilton is exactly what you're saying. Orton is flexible and adaptable, and the lessons build cumulatively, right?
mhm.
Whereas Wilson, it's it's not flexible, and it's the sub steps, and whether
It's
you know it
not.
or not, it's inflexible. Which
Yeah.
doesn't seem, why are we doing a program like that? What is the point?
Well, because it's like so intensive. What they're trying to do is ensure the mastery of each phonics concept before moving on.
But
I
why would we not have a program that
They do. That was their decision. That's how they invested the money into
I
Wilson.
want a program that my child is clever. She's clever. She's a clever kid.
Right. But listen, I'm telling you this because before I worked here, I was in 30 districts in Long Island. I was a consultant. I'm telling you, whatever the district has bought into, that is how they satisfy that need. So if they've bought into Wilson, that's how they're supporting kids who have these word reading difficulties
They could
or
bring in a
dyslexia.
consultant, or you or somebody who's Orton Gillingham qualified. They choosing to spend money on cheaper solutions, even though they are
Oh,
type
Wilson
of
is
one
actually
school.
Wilson is very expensive. It's very expensive to get trained in Wilson. It's probably more than Orton, actually. I mean, that is, if you go on, I mean, this is just random, but like if you go on any reading teacher postings, you must have Wilson in Long Island. They don't even, Orton isn't even as popular. Must have Wilson. Any reading teacher that's getting hired in 2025 has to have that certification. And it's like thousands of dollars. And I'm telling you, just from person to person, if it was my child, I would prefer, honestly, Wilson if I was in the situation and I needed more of a didactic approach, to be honest. But you have to do your due diligence if you feel like you need to look at it as well. I don't even know if when I go back to them what they're going to say about that. I'm going to try to advocate it because I want her to have what she needs to be successful. Like you said, reading opens doors, right? If you can't read your books, you can't read the social studies, you can't read the math problem, it all flows into everything. So I understand that. And I want her to close the gap sooner than later. I understand that piece of it.
She's also switching numbers still.
Well, I think the thing is that, that's like a little bit of a misnomer. The transposition of the numbers is not really synonymous with dyslexia or dyscalculia. It's more of the phonological processing disorder that is
Yes.
really what,
Like, for
yes,
example, 16 and 60, she can't tell the difference between.
yeah. Yeah,
She
it could
cannot.
be something. There could be something to it. I mean, listen, you're her mom. You spend the most time with her. You will know her better than anybody. And I want to take what you're saying into account, you know. Um, so let me go back and talk to them and see what's what. I want to see why she wasn't tested before, and maybe if we can get her tested now, see if they can screen her. And if they say yes and she qualifies, then potentially then she can start in September.
Now, what does qualification or disqualification entail?
So they have cut scores. They'll have cut scores, and just like any diagnostic test, they're going to have scores based on her age. When's she born?
6, 15, 17.
Okay, so she's like a little bit young for the grade too, right? But
What do you mean
that
she's young for grade 2? She's finished grade 2.
no, I mean she's young for the grade. She's born in the summer. The cutoff, yes, sort of.
No, the cutoff is December.
Yeah.
She's solid mid-grade.
Okay. So, but that's basically how the cut scores are determined is by your age. So, let me go back and talk to her. Is that okay?
I mean, let's say, because I mean, obviously, I don't mind her being evaluated for this, but then I want to talk about, let's say she doesn't make the cut. Then what? Because this reading program we have is crap. She is not progressing.
Can I ask what you're basing that on
I'm
though? I
basing
mean,
it on the fact that she's not reading.
okay.
I mean, that's the metric. She's gained a few words, you know, but she's not reading. So
Okay.
it's not working for her. So
Okay.
we have to, so I don't understand the
Something
logic.
more programmatic.
Well, I don't see the logic of putting her in a program that she's already been in with
Mm-hmm.
minuscule gains and
You want something
and
more intensive.
expecting different results.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because if she continues to grow at
Yeah.
this rate of, let's just take a look. How many points did we say? Hold on, I'm gonna look at it again. The spring, right? So in the iReady, she went up. Oh, so she went from 417 to 441, right? So if she continues at that rate, the deficit continues to grow
I
exponentially.
I
So continue
un-
to keep her in the same program with that level of growth doesn't make sense to me.
I understand what you're looking for, something more programmatic, not as a related service. I understand what you're looking for.
I
Let
mean, I
me
don't know what that means. Like when you say that, maybe I am, but I don't know what that means.
like
And I
programmatic,
guess that's
yeah.
why I keep talking to you because I don't understand what you're saying and I don't understand what this
Okay.
recommendation means and I don't understand what this way it is and whether she's likely to qualify or not. But I need to know, like, if she's not going to qualify, I don't want to find out in freaking August, because I know this district and they do testing, God only knows when. And then I find it in August, oh, well. And then by the time we do testing and by the time we have a CSE, it's already June of next year and another year's lost. And so this is why I'm anxious.
Okay. All right. So can we leave it at, I'm going to go talk to Dr. Bolt. I'm going to see if they can get her tested. If she qualifies, let's just think about this. Let's think about the two scenarios that can happen. She gets tested, she qualifies, she's going to get Wilson. Okay, that's one pathway. She gets tested, she doesn't qualify, and then we have to figure out what happens next. Those are the only two things that are going to happen right now.
Well,
So
you're the reading specialist. What would happen next?
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, it is to the discretion of the special education department, because they're the ones that are going to be putting it on our IEP. That I don't have a horse in the race. I can only, speak my piece and look at the data once the Wilson, there's a Wilson person at Oakwood that would test her. Once that person tests her, then they're going to come up with
There's
the
a
data.
Wilson person at Oakwood, and they didn't give her this Wilson person.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the history of that story is. I'll try to ask. I mean, I don't know. I know as much as I know from this conversation.
Freaking district at this point.
Yes, I can see, and I get the frustration part of that.
You don't. You don't. You really don't. I actually have 3 children. I have literally a timeline where I've been told by the district, the building spoke and your kid doesn't need testing. Okay? I've had them fake results. I mean, I've got proof of it.
Yeah, no, well, listen, we're trying to do it now. Let me try and see if she's going to allow for it. Give me today. Let me talk to her and see what she says. Okay.
So when am I going to hear, and when will a determination be made?
Well, I mean, that's really up to Christine Vole. Like, I'm just here to just be like an outside perspective to try and, facilitate, supporting you. That's why I'm here.
That's not what I was told, by the way.
What did she tell you?
She told me that you will do an evaluation, and I had a conversation with her and Mr. Lombardo, because I told it. I have been told by whoever the Suffolk representative, the state representative, pretty much begged me to put in state complaints. I have probably at least 4 or 5 that would be founded.
Mm-hmm.
The way this district has done things is disgusting. And you know what? I thought, let me operate in good faith. Let them not spend money on fines. Let them spend money on kids, right? And I tried so hard to work with the district, and I got great lip service from Lombardo and Dr. Vol. And I was told in a conversation with Dr. Vol, oh, I will have Haley evaluated by Jessica Sauer so that by the time we go to CSE, I'll have the results and we'll move forward. But guess what? That didn't happen. So then I asked her about your evaluation, and it turns out you and I have a conversation set, and you have no power and you have nothing to do, and you're not sure if she can get tested, and you're not sure. So I don't even know what's going on, but it seems like nobody at the district does either.
Well, let me talk to her today. Okay. And then I will email you back. And if you need something, you can also reach out to me and I can try and help you. That's
okay. But you say that you have no power, and Dr. Vol.
Well, I don't have the power to say that. No, I don't.
Nobody has any power. Who has power?
Well, I mean, they'll make the determination.
And why are you not doing the testing? I was told by Dr. Vol that you would be doing the testing.
Michelle Berry did the testing. If she's going to get Wilson tested, that's going to be by the Wilson certified.
Who's the Wilson certified person?
At Oakwood?
Yes.
Is Jen Lembo.
I mean, she had Lembo, and she loved Lembo, and she progressed not at all with Lembo.
Okay. Let me see what happens. Let me get in touch with her today. I will get back to you. You have my word, okay? I don't want you to wait either, okay? I understand how that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure you do at this point.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to, because I understand this is your daughter and this is important, and I understand that part of it. Okay. All right. So let me get in touch with her. I'll write you back today. All right. As soon as we hang up, I'm gonna call her.
All right.
All right. It will get settled. Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. I will try my best to support you. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Yes. Of course, no worries. All right, I will get in touch with you today. But if you need something, you can definitely, you have my email now, so you just reach out to me if there's another question. Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.